guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this great email that was sent from a subscriber, and this is all about showing that for once, bros will truly come before the garden you-know-what. And in this story, guys, this is all about a young guy, I'm guessing about 23, 24 years old, and he reflects back a couple years before when he was in college, when he met this girl in one of his classes who he truly thought was the one. He thought that she was amazing, she was perfect and all that, and they got together, and of course in the beginning everything's wonderful, but then guess what? She starts showing interest in his best friend, okay? And you can start to see in this story where things start to go. Now, ordinarily, in normal stories I do, unfortunately doesn't end well where the best friend or buddy turns out to be a scumbag and ends up having relations with the guy's girlfriend or wife or whatever. But in this story, you're going to see it goes down a different route where eventually the boys, they get even with the girl. And it's great. And again, you're going to see there's a lot of lessons in this story, guys. There's the very important lesson that bros must come before the you-know-what, okay? I can't say it here because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. But so many times guys will end up kicking their bros to the curb for some girl. And then she ends up just blowing them off or whatever, and that's it. So guys must always come, their buddies must come first, and you don't betray your buddies just for some random chick, any chick, okay? Because guess what? You got a whole planet full of them. Another lesson is, and you're going to see this in here, about a girl's true colors, okay? Because in the beginning, she can put on the whole act in the honeymoon period, and you think everything's great, and then later on down the road, you start to see her true colors. You know, the honeymoon period, if you will, like I said. And also, a lesson you're going to see here, guys, is that women hate weak men. They despise them. And when a guy starts displaying weakness, they test and they get nasty and pull bullshit, and you're going to see right here how she, punishes the guy. So, I'm going to jump right into it, guys. Starts off, hello SSM. I've been following your channel for about 9 months now, and with your help, I was able to spot some major red flags with my fiance. Let's call her X because she's now my ex. I want to share this with you to show other young men to not make the same blue pill mistakes that I made. Although my background, I met her 3 years ago while I was a junior at my state university, and she was studying psychology, and I was taking pre-med. We met while taking a class in anatomy, and we clicked like that. I thought, and he wrote thought in giant capital letters, I thought she was the perfect woman straight out of my wildest fantasies. Dude, there is no such thing. She may look perfect on the outside. You may have similar interests, but there is no such thing as perfect. It is only in the movies. And he is soon going to find out the hard way. He says, she seemed, again, he has that in capital letters. There come the sirens. She seemed to have everything I ever wanted in a woman, and we did everything together. Within a year, we talked about getting married and having kids. Smack. Dude, you're in your early 20s. You shouldn't be talking about that. But a lot of guys do that, and I'd be a liar to say that when I was your age, those type of thoughts went through my head too. Because guess what? I watched all the same stupid movies and TV shows and all that. But don't do that, guys. Focus on your purpose, your goals. The last thing you should be thinking about in your early 20s is marriage and kids and all that. I don't care how hot the girl you're dating is, how hot her body is, how cool she is. No. I don't think so, especially when you've only known her a short period of time. Because this guy thought he knew her. He said he'd been dating her a year. And you think you'd see some of his true colors then. Nope, not till later. He says, I naively believed that I had gotten lucky and found the one. I realized in hindsight that was a major blue pill mistake. Well, dude, you were young. Okay, you didn't know any better. Now you know. You learned the hard way, and you guys are going to see how he learned the hard way, because this girl turns out to be crazy. Crazy with capital letters. He says, my best friend since middle school also went to the state university. He was studying physics. Let's call him Mac. Mac is also a bona fide genius who is going very far in his education. I've seen how his mind works, and it's incredible. A regular Albert Einstein. Me, Mac, and my ex formed our own sort of social group, and we did a lot of things together. Looking back, I now see how X was giving us some major red flags. For starters, she was always enamored with Mac. At the time, I put it all down to her just having a mild crush, and he says, was I ever wrong? Even if she has a mild crush, that's a good reason to end it. Okay? That's a major red flag right there. It's one thing for her to, think your friend's a cool guy and you can have a good time together, but there's a difference between a girl liking a guy as a friend, like a brother, and actually having attraction for him. And if you sense that, should have ended that right then and there. It would have saved this guy a whole lot of trouble. So if you ever happen to have that, guys, cut your losses. You don't need the drama, and you're going to see what I'm talking about here. He says here, Mac did have a serious problem. Other than school, he had a hard time socializing due to his childhood trauma that he endured and was always depressed and unhappy. Something about that apparently attracted X. So she likes guys that she can fix. She's obviously a psychology major, so that she likes a guy she can fix. Think about it, a challenge. Over time, he got a lot better and started going on dates with a few girls. Not only was he smart, but also becoming a real ladies' man. The more he improved, the more my girlfriend started lashing out at me and our relationship started deteriorating. Translation, she has the hots for this guy's best friend, and as this guy starts dating and having more and more girls like him, she's getting jealous. His SMV is going up here because of all the girls that like him, so now she wants him more, but she can't have him in her mind because she's already with this dude, okay? And obviously she's pissed off about it. She, in her mind, can't do anything about it, so she's lashing out at this guy, her boyfriend. Real mature. He says X went from sweet and nice to a manipulative, lying psycho. I got news for you. That's who she always was. The whole sweet and nice thing, that was an act. Trust me. Like a typical blue pill, I thought that proposing to her and moving in with her would calm her down. So like the idiot I was, I proposed to her. She said yes, but in a very bored tone. Dude, smack. So let me get this straight. She's treating you like crap, lashing out at you, being a bad girlfriend, all these things, went from being sweet and nice to manipulative, lying psycho, and you're going to reward that behavior by proposing to her and giving her a ring and asking her to move in together. Does that make any sense whatsoever? If somebody's treating you badly, you don't go and treat them well and give them nice things. No, you kick them out of your life or you lash out at them. Okay, she's gonna have no woman's gonna have respect for a guy that she's a bitch to, and the guy just puts up with it and even rewards her and does these things like proposing to her or kissing her butt and all that. That's nice guy bullshit. That's what nice guys do, and they wonder why these girls either dump them or treat them more like crap. Don't ever do that, guys. I mean, think about it. If you treated someone badly and you know you're treating somebody badly and they didn't react to that, they didn't stand up for themselves, and they started treating you better, would you respect that? Not at all. But the problem is when somebody's emotions and heart gets involved, they can't see the logic in the situation, how best to handle it. So this is a perfect example why I go over these stories, guys, so you can see where people went wrong. So if you're ever in a situation like that, you can be like, oh, I remember that story SSM did, and this is what happened, so I better not do that. And you know what? I'm not trying to give this guy a hard time. I'm sure he's obviously knows darn well where he screwed up, but I need to point this out to obviously help somebody else that may be in a situation like this one day. Anyhow, so... And oh, by the way, and she accepted the proposal anyway. Even though she obviously has issues with this guy, and she's hot for his friend, she accepted the proposal and took the ring anyway. Probably because she wanted to obviously still stay close to the friend she had the hots for. He says, after this, things only got worse. See? She had no respect for him. He was acting weak, okay? Like I said, women hate weak men, okay? The only women that actually... The women that are masculine and want to boss around and control men, and you often have to question their own sexuality, they just hate men to begin with, but they certainly don't respect weak men. But no women hate weak guys, okay? And so never believe this whole be a soft guy and in touch with your feelings and the type of guy that they're trying to promote in TVs and movies, okay? Trust me, it's not going to go well, okay? Women don't want that, okay? Believe me. And if they say they want that, they're lying. And remember, never take advice from women about other women. Dating, relationships, pickup, attraction. You're only asking for trouble. Anyway, things got worse. She only started showing more and more infatuation with Mac and started treating me worse. She's treating you worse because you showed her that she can do anything to you, and you're still going to be around there trying to be like a whipped little puppy, trying to be a little good old boy trying to please her. That's what you demonstrated to her. You showed her she can do whatever she wants, and it doesn't matter. No woman will respect that, ever. But I can honestly say that Mac never showed any interest back and started getting uncomfortable around her. Whenever we hung out, X would flirt with him and exclude me from the conversations. Mac would try to include me in the conversations, but X would quickly try to isolate me, much to mine and Mac's clear discomfort. Trying to come between the best friends. Again, remember in the beginning of this story when he said he thought she was the one and the greatest thing since sliced bread and wonderful, blah, blah, blah? Even a year into it, he thought, oh, we're going to get married, have kids. This is her true character, okay? This is why I tell you guys, if you're going to get married one day, number one, you're crazy to do it in today's world, but if you do it anyway, you got to spend years and years around this girl, being around her, her family, her friends, going through some things to see how her true character, how she responds to this and that and all these other things. I did a video on that about a month or so ago about the 20 things to basically look out for if you must get married, okay? And now she's trying to break up the best friends. He says, one time, Mac pulled me aside and asked me to make X stop flirting with him, as it made him super uncomfortable. And now this is the part where it gets really crazy, guys. He says, one day at our apartment, right out of nowhere, she threw her cell phone at me because I didn't buy any orange juice. The screen on her phone broke, and even though she threw it, she blamed it on me. Imagine this scene, guys. She's pissed off. She throws the phone at the guy and says, you made me do it, and you made me break that thing. How dare you? Go buy me a new phone. And I bet you if it stopped there, that guy probably would have gone out and bought her a new phone, even though she's the one that acted violently towards him. Now listen to this. She blamed it on him. Then she went to the police and said that I broke her phone while trying to manhandle and grape her. She said I broke her phone while she was trying to call 911. Holy shit. Psycho. Again, this is the chick he said he wanted to marry, okay, and who was so great and so wonderful and the one and all that stuff. It was magical and fireworks were going off when they met. And are you fucking kidding me? Calling the cops and accusing him of this just because she's pissed off at him? Psycho. This stuff ruins people's lives, and these girls don't care at all. Luckily, I was able to prove my innocence to the police and got off clean. Well, thank God for that. Speaking of police, more sirens. Once the police left, she threw a screaming fit and swiped me with her fingernails, leaving a huge scratch on my arms. This is when to say, get the fuck out. Saying that she hated me for being alive and that I deserved to suffer for not being what she wanted. I told her to get out, and she left to go stay with her mom. Translation, she's punishing him. First of all, she's nuts. We can all agree with that. But she's also punishing him for acting weak. Like I told you, women hate weak men. And she was treating him like crap, and he proposed to her and all that, and then she's hitting on his friend. He doesn't do anything about it. That's weakness, guys. Women hate weak men. And in her mind, he deserves to be punished and treated like this because of acting this way, okay? I'm sure there's plenty of other things. She's obviously got multiple screws loose up there, but still. And this is a psych major. And this is a woman that's probably, I'm going to assume, going to go on and become a shrink one day. Can you imagine her with patience? This is going to be Miss Hannibal Lecter here. The next day, I got a call from Mac telling me that the ex had asked him if she could come to his place. My heart sank, and I had just realized how insecure it made me feel to think that my fiance was actually in love with my best friend, not me. Dude, you don't have to feel bad about anything. She's psycho, okay? She never loved you. She's not capable of that. She's nuts, okay? Sure, it sucks, but still. Mac asked me if I was okay, and after a few painful seconds, I decided to come out and confess what I've been suspicious of all along. He told me that I had nothing to worry about as far as him getting with her, and that he would never betray me. This is a good friend, guys. A friend like him is someone you hold on to. Nothing comes between that. I also came to the conclusion that if Mac was going to betray me and sleep with my fiance, he wouldn't have told my ex wanting to meet at his place. Exactly. He also told me that he still has the text of her asking him out, or asking him. I asked him to send me a screenshot, and he did. I then asked him if this was it, and he said yes. He then asked me if there was anything I wanted to do, and I said yes. I then also asked him if he would be willing to meet up with her and see what she does. Aha. Now things are getting very interesting here. He said yes, but he also suggested I hide it in the adjacent room in his apartment and have a hidden camera set up so he could see what happens, so that I can see what happens while I'm in another room and can come out when he sees what he needs to see. He messages her to come to his place at 4 p.m. She arrives at 3:50 p.m. I hide in the closet. While he answers the door to let her in, just hearing her walk through the door made my heart sink in my stomach, and seeing her on my camera phone only made it worse. In spite of the whole police thing and her throwing the thing at him and scratching him, this guy's obviously been with her for a while, so it's almost like Stockholm Syndrome with her. It's crazy. She walks in, and my friend asks her, "What's going on? Are you in blank?" He says, referring to myself, "Okay." She gets to talking about how she doesn't love me anymore and starts to get into how she has had eyes for him for a while. He plays it cool, neither encouraging or discouraging her for what she is clearly about to do. Finally, she gets closer to him and tries to grab his lower area. He firmly, but not aggressively, grabs her wrist and pulls her hand away and says, "Before we do anything, there's something you should know." He then snaps his fingers like Thanos from Infinity War, and I come barging into the living room, literally coming out of the closet, LOL. Like Thanos. Infinity War is definitely one of my favorite movies. Good mention to that. Imagine the look on her face when he comes barging in the room. The look on her face is something I will always remember until the day I die. She turned white as a ghost. I'd love to see that. Mac told her, "If you really thought I betrayed my best friend, you're a bigger moron than I thought." Listen to this. She tried accusing Mac of trying to hit on her and then accused me of making her susceptible to his alleged advances towards her. Crazy. But we both had proof, and we both knew she was just trying to deflect the blame for her actions. Remember about women and accountability? And what happens next is no surprise. He says, she then tried lying to all our mutual friends about how we tried to manipulate her, but we had proof of the contrary. Her friends and family have disowned her, and now she has no one to turn to. It turns out all our mutual friends have suspected that she had been trying to leave me for Mac, and they commended Mac for not betraying me. Your friend is a good friend. That's awesome. And even though I was previously starting to disdain Mac for X's attraction to him, I was able to move past that, and our friendship has gotten stronger through this ordeal. It's not your buddy's fault that she had the hots for him, okay? I could see how that he could get that way for a little bit, but no, this guy's a friend, all right? He's sticking with you. He's a friend. And you don't ever want to mess it up. But, guys, how many stories have I done where you got guys that are best friends since childhood or something like that, and the second there's some pee involved, one's cheating on the guy's girlfriend or wife or fiance. Rarely do I get a story like this. That's why I did it today, is that for once the friend remained loyal and they ganged up and basically entrapped the girl. Could have ended a whole different way. He says, Mac is a true brother, and I'm lucky to have him as a friend. Even if I lost who I thought was the love of my life, since then I've had a new girl. I won't say that it's great, as it's too soon to tell. Well, you got a new girl? Okay. You take your time. And don't go be thinking about bullshit like getting married and having a kid like you did with the first one, okay? I don't care how great she is, how pretty she is, how cool she is. Because remember, with the crazy girl, you thought everything was wonderful too. This will take years. And since you are pre-med, focus on going to medical school and becoming a great doctor, okay? Girls, kids, all that, don't even worry about, okay? I don't want to hear anything about girls until you're at least 30 years old and you are now out of medical school and you're practicing medicine or you're a resident, where the hell it is, the medical jargon. Good for you for going to medical school, but the girls are dead last of importance. He says, but I moved past my rotten ex, and even Mac is moving past his childhood trauma and is now great with the ladies. He doesn't want to meet my current girlfriend, which I don't blame him for, because the situation with my ex disgusted him a great deal. Yeah, after that whole fiasco, I wouldn't want to meet any of your girls either. He's still working through his own personal demons, but he's getting better. So there you go, guys. I think that was a great story, because like I said, some of these stories, these guys get burned by their buddies over just some chick. You know, I just never got that. There's plenty of women out there. You know, why mess with your best buddy's girl? But unfortunately, human nature ain't pretty all the time. But this is a great story. And this time, the guys stuck together. That's the way it should be, guys. Your best buddies, you know, they are gold. Okay, and it's rare in life you're going to get a guy that you can completely trust, has your back. He likes you for you, regardless, even if he disagrees with certain things about you. That's rare. In this story, I'm really glad to see it go that way. But again, guys, like I told you, women, what do you want to call it? They can hide who they are for a long time. And men can do it too. People can hide their true colors for a long time, but eventually it will come out. And look how it was here. He thought that everything was great, that she was the one, all that shit for over a year. And then this started happening, and he just, the psycho just came out. And I mean psycho with a capital P. So for you relationship guys, you got to take your time before you even consider actually getting exclusive with a woman. You got to really get to know who she is. I've warned you about moving in with a girl, but a lot of you guys are going to do it anyway. Well, I wouldn't advise it, but if you do that, you really got to get to know who she is. And if you're going to get married one day, again, I wouldn't advise in today's world. You need to spend years and years and seeing her in different situations and scenarios to find out who she really is. Because otherwise, you can end up with someone like this, and your life is absolutely miserable. I mean, look how she called the cops and blamed him made all these accusations. That could have ended in a completely different situation. You know, and it's horrible. It's horrible in today's world that now with these laws as they are, a woman can make an accusation, a guy didn't do anything in the workplace or anything, and boom, he's guilty until, well, proven guilty, because, you know, you're never really innocent after that. All it takes is an accusation, and people just assume that, oh, you got a good lawyer, so you got off because of that, not because you actually didn't do anything. It's horrible, but it happens. So you just got to be careful, guys. Anyhow, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.